Roofing day 2. That's a little concerning. Some thunderclouds building over the Gulf, but hopefully they'll stay over the Gulf and not come in. It's very clear to the north of us, but that's very typical down here. Rain can be very spotty. And I'm just here waiting on the guys. They're gonna start shingling this in. Everything's dried in and ready to go. We are back at the League-Kempner house in Galveston working with our new roof crew, and things are really moving along. Today they are getting up on the porte-cochere, and yes, I know I always say it porte-cochere, but that's because I'm from the south. So sorry, sometimes I will slip up and not say it correctly, but it is porte-cochere. And the guys are actually using a ladder to get up and down. They've got that boom, but because they're working in two very distinct parts of the roof, they're kind of having to share. And it's easier for them to get up and down here in this lower spot with the ladder, but they are delivering those really heavy bundles of roof shingles with the lift, and once they get all that done, they're going to take the lift back over to where they're working on a higher section of the roof. And this area actually took much longer than they thought. If you recall back, I think in the last video, the guy said it would take a couple of days to do the roof. It ends up being much more than that, but these areas are tricky, have a lot of angles, a lot of flashing to do, but it's exciting to see so much of the shingles cleared off and the decking repair done and the shingles going back on. So while we're here looking at it, let's just refresh a little bit about what the porte-cochere is. It's really just an extension of a building for vehicles to drive under so that people can load and unload in a covered space. And that vehicle could have been a horse and carriage, or in this case, the house was built right at the advent of automobiles. And we know J.C. League was an avid automobile collector. He was an early adopter of technology. Now, this house also has a portico on the front, and that's really similar, except the portico is designed for people to walk in and out in a protected space. And we have the portico, you'll see it on the front when I'm doing some painting, and it's designed so that the rain is channeled to either side so that you're not getting dripped on in the weather when you walk into the house. So we have both a porte-cochere and a portico. Now in this case, the porte-cochere is functional, but I think it's also a big part of showing off wealth and making the house look bigger. It extends the width of the building by quite a bit so that it's much more imposing and grand when you look at it from the front. We are at the League-Kempner house in Galveston, and today we're answering the question, what does 130 years of paint look like? Looks like rotted wood from the ground, but it's just layer after layer after layer of paint and a lot of dirt. It's going to come down on our head. We're not doing a great paint job right now, but we are trying to clean up some spots and get rid of these rust stains and at least get our forward-facing fascia cleaned up. It will look a whole lot better. And I would love to come in here with the pressure washer and get this. They've been using the boom non-stop today, so I only got to do that little bit of scraping at lunch. So I have situated myself in the flower bed and I'm just weeding here and there. It's constant, but with the rain we've had, everything's just kind of the right texture and moisture to weed, so dry sand doesn't fly up in your face when you pull the weeds. So I'm having a little break, and actually the breeze is pleasant and it's not too bad, but I do feel for those guys. When you're in the sun, it is brutal, and they have been in the sun. Oops, can't see them. They've been in the sun up there all day long. They were well underway on the porte cochere and on this side getting shingles delivered up, and the shingles go on a lot faster than the tear off and the repair of the rotted wood. So part of the crew moved around the house to start working on a new section. Okay, I think we found some rot. Well, Alfred, there's a big hole in the roof. Okay, I'm gonna go up on the roof. I'm gonna go out on the flat roof and take a picture. See what the heck's going on. Coming out. You made a hole?
Huh?
You didn't like my stopper?
Yeah. It's going. Closer and closer.
Well, I'm not going
We're going to have to do a repair right there.
I can't go on the edge. I have to go around the...
Artilio. We have to do a big repair right there.
Did you see any live termites?
No miraste de estas termitas ahí.
Nobody alive, huh?
Nobody alive.
Okay.
You got everybody.
That's the old, so that's the original exterior of the house. And then they added this on.
Hey, güey, ¿cómo estaba ahí, güey? Pero, o sea, ¿cómo termina ahí? Porque ahí se mira que está chido para el agua, ¿no? Para que se meta el agua.
So how's that gonna work? How did they?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, you can take that old roof off.
Pero, ¿cómo estaba ahí planteado para allá? ¿Cómo estaba para allá? Run that out
Yeah.
to match here.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that's going to be...
What? How was it before? I mean, it was out that way, but how did they have it attached?
Hey, no vayas a apagar ahorita si... No la vayas a apagar.
A little hole over there.
Nada de esa mamada dice que ya no prende. Ahí está bueno, apágalo.
So what was there? How was it?
¿Cómo estaba aquí, güey? Es lo que quiero que me...
¿Viene el decking de aquí?
They just
Oh, okay. Viene para acá. Okay. So yeah, it was like that.
Va clavado
Like,
aquí la...
so it had a piece of decking, but it was rotted out.
oh, it had a piece of decking.
Yeah, so it had that from there extending out, but it was rotted out. Yeah, so we're just gonna extend it from there to the wall and then flash it how it is right there.
Yeah. Okay.
See,
Yeah. This edition was not put on very well.
Oh.
It was not.
yeah, it was eating away everything.
Yes. Do they need to take that off?
If you want it
And-
off, we can take it off.
Well, I was just wondering if they
No, it looks...
scabbed
Solid.
on a another 2x6 or something to give them, because what are they going to nail to?
Oh, so yeah, we're gonna get some 2x6s.
and nail.
Yeah, so you get the backing
Yeah,
for the decking,
yeah.
and then go from there.
Okay. I know treated lumber's crap these days, but it still needs to be treated.
Yeah.
It's a shame that you can't get. Yeah, that. How bad is that corner right there between his legs? Is that? I don't know what you call it.
That's termite. That ain't water.
Yeah, that's termite.
Oh, yeah, we'll extend it to right there. Run it this way.
Yeah, I had the roofer put that on. So the roof used to stop before the wall, and then it had a gutter sitting on top of the wall. And when the gutter rusted out, all the water went down behind the wall. And so that was part of, but termites came up. Well, there's so much water, termites. But I treated all that from inside. So hopefully, if you see a live one, let me know.
Yeah. No, so far.
Good. Okay.
Good.
All right. Okay, Alfred and I are here. Say hi.
Hi.
Looking at what they're doing, and I just noticed something I've never noticed before. It just kills me. So they built this addition with these terracotta blocks. It's brick on the first floor holding up the floor joist, then it changes to this hollow terracotta. But up here, this exterior wall is nothing but mesh and plaster. So it's not even a brick wall up there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, where am I? Oh, there I am. There it is. It's nothing but mesh and plaster. It's not even a real wall. It's like an interior wall. So this addition, I'm sorry, is a piece of crap. Sorry, Birdsall Briscoe. Noted architect, crappy designer. You're still carrying your hinges around. Yeah. So that is what's left of the wood. This is what's left. This is what's left of the wood. So they ate it all. You can see their little tracks. Not good, not good. In the grand scheme of things, it could have been much worse, but I just have to say this addition and the way it was attached, I knew it was not good, but that section right there, it was just awful. It's just awful. It's just a cobbled together mess. But with that resolved, they moved on and started on removing the rest of the shingles from the east side of the house. So things were progressing very nicely. And in the grand scheme of things, there could have been a lot more rot. I was shocked that this was really the only truly bad spot that they found. Okay. It's also nice that we have this flat roof right here. It's not great because I hate flat roofs and they're problematic from a leak standpoint, but it acted as kind of a landing pad workspace where they could work very safely on this back part of the roof, because if you slide or fall, you just slide down to this spot, and it gave them a place to stage all their tools and the shingles and be able to move up and down and have a place to rest, and then they'd crawl through the window and just walk down the stairs. So it did make roofing the back part of this house much easier. Joe is coming out the window.
It's been a very long time since I've crawled out of a window.
I dared her and she's doing it. Okay, now stand. Yeah, okay. Now stand up.
Ta-da!
Don't fall. Oh, wait. I'm so, here.
Okay, I'm
I might
already
have
scared
to.
of that.
Okay. We might have to film. We might have to refilm that. That was not a good angle.
This is why I'm the cinematographer. It is a nice view.
Don't walk anywhere. Just
I know.
turn around.
I'm afraid of rolling that way.
Turn around and look. Look behind you. Watch the nails. Okay. So that's where they closed in the
vent.
event. And then that's something called ice and water shield. That's like where you used to use metal flashing. Are you filming me? Filming you?
I'm just taking a picture. Very good.
Oh, and that's one of my good green boards too. I'll save that. Okay, good. I'm up here picking up the trash. Okay, I'm gonna save this. This is it. All right.
Looking for treasure?
I don't think we'll keep that one. Oh, you know, actually I will keep that one because that's kind of cool.
Janie, saving the trash.
I can make something out of that. All right. Yeah, see? It looks way better than it did, that's for sure. Oh look, crepe myrtles are starting to bloom. The valleys need extra protection, so they get something called the ice and water shield, and it actually has a self-adhesive backing on it, so they get it sized and in place and then have to pull off the protective backing paper to reveal the sticky side. And I'm always amazed how these guys can just climb up and down here. When I try to climb this section of the roof, I slide like crazy and have to walk up like a crab, but they are just a natural at it.
And now I just stay here.
Yeah, how are you gonna get down?
You know, the last time, you know, that's only like 2.5 feet, and the last time I did that, I sprained an ankle. So I obviously did not think this through. That's not going to
Put an arm on my shoulder
That's not
and then slide forward and put a foot on the toilet.
The problem is I can't use my right leg. I'll have to turn around and do it backwards. I'll just have to turn around and slide off backwards. What could possibly go wrong?
There's a hole there, so only step on the edge.
Only stepping.
Okay. Woo.
Ta-da.
Hold on. I could have just left her there. Okay, it's hard to tell, but it does look better. It was a huge mess out here. And the crew that's up working on the roof actually came from Oklahoma. So they hired 4 extra local guys to do cleanup today. and they worked about 4 hours and said it was too hot and too hard and quit. So they'll finish cleaning up tomorrow, but they're still up on the roof doing the last bit of shingles. Then they have to put the ridge caps on and get the solar vents installed and flash the chimney. So quite a bit left to do, but this is looking better. Over here, this was completely full this morning of the tear off work that they did, and they got a lot of it out of there, and they've been throwing some more down. So I have to be careful walking up too close to the building right now. That's why I haven't put the shutters back up. Our wonderful volunteer Diane came. She doesn't like to be on camera, but she came and seen it on shutters today, so thank you, Diane. And they've been moving shingles from the other side of the house over here slowly so they can take them up in the lift. So that's getting the side of the house over here cleaned up a little bit. And I have to take my temporary sign down to move the lift around. So this side looks better, not completely clean, but it's getting there. And these are the ridge caps. They've been cutting those and getting them ready to go up. And it's that terracotta red color to mimic the terracotta caps that would have been on the slate roof. So we're making progress. Although it really does look pretty trashed out right now, but there's just no point doing anything until they're finished. I thought about getting the blower and cleaning up over here for them, but there's just still stuff coming down, so it doesn't make sense to do it twice. And now I'm waiting on our electrician. Mateo is coming to talk about the electric service. We need to get some really firm cost estimates on materials so we can start budgeting. All right, they are winding up day 3. Are you trying to finish the shingles tonight? Or no?
This right here.
Yeah.
We'll have this little peak.
Tomorrow. All right, it is almost 9 o'clock. The sun has gone down, the moon is up, and those poor roofers are still up there working. They took about an hour nap this afternoon around 3:30 or 4 and got back up there. I don't even know how they're standing. I've just been piddling around all day and I'm exhausted. I just can't imagine. The heat has been just incredible, but they did get a little cloud cover starting about 5. And I think they're just taking advantage of the cooler temperature so that they don't have to do so much tomorrow in the hot sun. Hi, it's Janie back at the League-Kempner house with volunteer Jean. Y'all met her very briefly on a previous video, and she contacted me to let me know she's available today, which was perfect because the roofers don't want to come until 3. The heat is just too bad. So instead, I'm going to use the boom. We're going to try to drive it through the porte-cochere and get it in the front and work on the front fascia. So maybe, right. We'll see. This is a very tight fit going through the porte-cochere, but it's the only way to really do it. You can't go out in the yard. There's too many stumps and palm trees to get around, and it does just fit. The basket is a little wide, so it takes time because you have to turn the basket and manipulate the boom as you're going through. So it's not something I want to do back and forth, back and forth. I was waiting for a day when I had a full day to get in front of the house and do work, so I'd only have to do this once. Like usual, I have changed my plans. I really, really want to get up there and do that fascia. It looks so bad, but I have to go through that very unlevel part, and that's where I got in trouble and the safety leveling switch cut the machine out. So as much as I want to get there while there's cloud cover and it's not so brutally hot. Okay, the noisy gods are gonna have to voice over this. I decided to start here where it's much easier, and it also looks really bad up there. But from a very comfortable position, I can get this whole area right here and up around that curve. So I've added a few things to my kit. I've got a sprayer with Clorox water, a bucket of water, and a brush, because I'm not going to paint it, but I'm going to try to clean right there a little bit. So let me set up the camera and get started. I love the hyperlapse video because you can see those beautiful clouds passing by in the background, but they started getting darker and darker and heavier, and I was worried about lightning, and it's not safe to be up on the lift in that kind of weather, and it was really getting pretty ugly looking. So I got down and took a break and went around the side of the house to see what Jean was up to, and she is a fabulous worker. I am so lucky that she called and wanted to work today. It just worked out perfect with the guys not being here on the roof and me being able to use the boom, and we are desperate to get these shutters fixed and up before another hurricane, and she is just a tireless worker. Okay, the cloud broke and the sun is back out, but I did get that section scraped and primed. I'm going to back up and start at the end of the pergola there and put the top coat on, coming across, and I can come across to that new fascia board there. Then I have a decision to make whether to move the machine and try to do over there or go ahead and go high, which I hate, but the technology, I might use it. Okay, that looks so much nicer. And I took that white rust primer and hit a few rusty spots on the porte-cochere, and it looks much better. And I did that up under the porch, even where I didn't paint, just to clean it up. So I've made it from the edge of the porte-cochere around to the porte-cochere. in the front. I'm about to go up and hit those rust spots there and see if I can maneuver and get that lower part there. And maybe from right here I can go up and get that high part without getting on that uneven ground. So I think I'm going to do that and save this curvy part for last. Alright, Jean is busy doing detail work. This is that Abatron wood epoxy hardener, and we're building up inside the old pinholes so that moisture doesn't soak in there and get trapped. And you can fill the holes with that two-part epoxy, but this will also fill in small spaces and cure. And then we have some bad areas that we'll fill in with it. But overall, these shutters are in great shape. They just need a little TLC. That's all the work we have time for today, but I just want to end with a special thank you to Jean and all our other volunteers. We are getting more and more volunteers who will send us a message or call and say, hey, what day are you going to be there this week? I'm available on Wednesday or Friday and can come work for 3 or 4 hours. They don't wait for a planned, organized volunteer day. And that works perfect for us. If you have signed up on our volunteer sheet, feel free to send an email and let us know. We are open now for tours almost every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So we have some consistency. You can make a plan. 2 hours here or there really helps us. There is always a chore or something to do. So thank you so much to our volunteers. It's really moving this house along faster to have you, and we appreciate you so much. But thanks for watching. We're the League-Kempner House in Galveston, Texas. We're a nonprofit set up to preserve and restore this amazing house. And we really appreciate you here on YouTube watching us. All that view time leads to revenue, and the more money we have coming in, the faster we can get this beautiful house back to her original glory.